pretty valley. Yay, we made it. Camp Hope. It's a long line, a long wait to get in. We have to check in. Look at all these campers. And this is where our spot is for the next 9 nights. It's our pastor over there. He has to be security guard.
Let's do some collective sharing here. Just ask Jerry, like, what is
Or someplace new. So let's not confuse awe with new.
They've got such a sweet little garden and then a cute little prayer chapel. Oh. Most adorable little thing you've ever seen. About 10 people can have worship in here.
Every weekend in church
We're at a
with
Sunday
a loving
book
Christian
sale.
man and her
Kind of
family
fun.
by her side. But for a while, it didn't
Bought
seem
some
like
books.
this dream was come true.
Mom got a box of Rice Krispies, organic puffed rice. There was a fundraiser, so we got some Filipino food for $10. It's for a good cause.
And good friends. the day, write down what gave me joy, even if it was one thing. But we all need to keep a gratitude journal. It is very good for our mental health.
Found a shady place to eat. It is so warm out. All this week has been really warm. There's a store, a bookstore here. All kinds of Bibles, commentary. And there's a store with nice produce. It's at the end of the day, so it's kind of skimpy right now. So yeah, they give us a little grocery store. That's kind of fun. And then they have a kids store section full of games and books and music, all for kids. It's pretty cool. And a snack shop where you can get veggie burgers and veggie dogs and veggie everything. And this is where I got my will done. Yes, I finally did a will. And this building is brand new for this year, so let's go explore it. A massive fireplace and a huge courtyard. Wowzers. But it's a washing facility. It's huge. Big private shower rooms.
Because you might get squished.
And there's all kinds of creatures here too. So this is the lodge auditorium where the elderly get to stay.
But they used to start pouring it first thing in the morning.
Cafeteria. And my uncle, he drives the golf cart, so he's going to shuttle me back to my place. See, this is nice. When it's hot, you don't have to walk. Ooh, he's a wild driver though. And there's little booths around here that people have their stuff to show and promote. That's pretty cool. Woo! Whoa. Thank you, Uncle. Have a nice trip. Bye.
Have a great time.
Okay. And this is the bathroom that I have to use. It is old as the hills. The faucets leak and the showers are pretty gross. There's laundry facilities at least, that helps. It's time to go. Everybody's packing up. I've had a very inspiring 9 days. I've attended lots of seminars and lots of lectures, but my favorite was Dr. Stella. He is born in Kazakhstan. He's the president of the Euro-Asia division of our church, and he was telling stories about the war in Ukraine, and I just have to brag a little bit. He said that when the bombs started hitting Kyiv, that all the pastors ran away. They all abandoned their churches, except for the Seventh-day Adventist pastors. The people were in the bomb shelters with no food and no water, and these pastors would come down there and bring them food, risking their lives. And these people started wondering, now, what is this church all about? You know, it's Russian Orthodox over there, and so they were wondering, well, who is this Christian pastor that does this? Eventually, there's been 1,600 baptisms in Ukraine because of these fearless pastors. So when the bombing finally stopped and there was relative security, the pastor thought to himself, well, what am I going to do now? And so he researched a bit and found out that 50,000 soldiers have lost their limbs. So he decided he would go into the hospitals and visit these guys. And one room after another, he'd knock on the door. Nope, we do not want any Christianity. Go away. Finally, he came to a room where the soldier invited him in. He had lost all his legs, both legs, I believe. And he was so fearful because he thought his kids and his wife would reject him. They didn't know that he was in the hospital this way. They thought he was still serving out on the front lines. And so the pastor encouraged him and asked him what his wishes were. And one of his wishes was that he would be able to hike all the tall mountains. That was his dream. But of course now he wasn't going to be able to. So another dream of his was to have an aquarium with exotic fish. So this pastor went out and bought him an aquarium with exotic fish and brought it into his room. And he was so happy, of course. And his wife, and of course he prayed with him, and his wife and children were in the room, and they are loving him and so supportive. So that was a neat story. You can do really amazing things when you let God lead your life.